Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title, I'm going to be reviewing the new Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. And this is going to be my second day testing this out. Yesterday I did a full day wear test. I was at work and I wore it for about 11 hours. And also I had my mask on. So I was indoors at work, had my mask on almost the entire time, and I wore it for 11 hours. I used primer, foundation, obviously, the setting powder, setting spray, and I did basically a full face of makeup. So today I want to show you how it looks applied with the sponge versus a brush. And I'm not going to set it today so we can see if it'll stay put throughout the whole day without setting it, because I really don't set my foundation usually because I have dry skin, so I don't need it. So that's what we're gonna do for today's wear test, and also so you can see what the coverage looks like. So for today's wear test, I'm going to be using the Dr. Brandt Luminizer Primer, and that's what it looks like. I'm really hoping that it's gonna stay put all day without a setting powder. And I'm not gonna set my face either with a setting spray. I'm only gonna be using the primer and foundation for this. But of course I'm gonna apply blush, bronzer, and highlight. Alright, now that I've set my face, I'm going to do the sponge side first. And I'm gonna try one pump first and see how that goes. And I'm gonna do the sponge on this side. And yes, I know, I don't think I got the right shade for me, but it's fine. Also, this is supposed to be a medium to full coverage, I believe. And as you can see, it does look pretty, to me, it's like a light medium coverage more than medium to full, but it's also buildable. So this is what it looks like with a blending sponge, and it's just one layer. I like the finish of it, I really do. I think it's very natural, just like they say it is. Obviously the coverage is not all there. You can still see my angel kisses or moles or whatever. They're still visible, and that scar right here, it was a big pimple, so you can still see that. Now we're gonna test it on this side with a brush, and we're gonna do the same thing, just one pump. Yeah, I can immediately tell that the brush has way more coverage than the sponge side. This is actually my first time testing it out with a brush, so I like how it spreads though. Like, I have enough time to move it around before it dries down and it sets. So that's a plus for sure. Alright guys, so that's what it looks like. The sponge side and the brush side. I feel like with the sponge, it looks a little bit more radiant, more glowy, more luminous. And then this side is just almost like a satin finish. It's definitely not matte, but it's definitely not dewy either. It's more satin, more natural finish. And this one's definitely more dewy. But I can see clearly that this one has more coverage. So we're gonna do the double layer, and we're gonna see if the second layer actually builds up to a full coverage, as they say. I might need 3 layers to do full coverage, but I never do more than 2 layers when it comes to foundation, because it does get cakey, in my opinion, if I use more than 2 layers. 2 layers is the max that I do for foundation. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do another pump for the sponge. I definitely don't need a full pump for this, but this is for the sake of testing. So there it is with the second layer on the sponge side. I do believe it did build up quite a bit, but I still don't think it's full coverage. It's more of a medium, leaning medium full, but the finish is still not bad. It doesn't look cakey after 2 layers, so that's good. All right, now we're gonna try the other side with the brush. Same amount. Yeah, see, I don't like the way the brush looks with this foundation. I mean, I'm not a fan of the way the brush looks on my skin anyways with any foundation. But when I do use a brush, I go over it with a sponge anyways. I just use the brush for a more kind of for a fuller coverage, not necessarily the finish. So alright guys, so that is the second layer on the brush side. Now it's looking a little bit more dewy, but I'm not sure if I like the finish more than the sponge side. It definitely has more coverage, that's for sure. But I'm gonna go over it with the sponge because I like the way the sponge leaves the skin. So I'm just gonna tap right over that. All right, now I'm gonna do the rest of my face and I'll be right back. All right guys, before we continue to the second word test, this one's the first word test, and I did use setting powder and setting spray along with everything else. This is pretty much a full face of makeup, and these are the timestamps for them too. Alright guys, so it is the end of day 1, and so far it looks pretty good. My blush is still kind of on. My bronzer is faded though because of the mask, but I mean my lipstick's faded too. But other than that, yeah, I think, I mean, I'm a little shiny, as you can tell too, and my forehead for sure is shiny. I don't know if, can you see that? Oh man, long day. So I've been wearing this since like 6:40 when I was done with my makeup. So So basically, I've been wearing it for about 10.5 hours. That's a long time. So yeah, this is what it looks like the end of the day. I'm pretty impressed for the first day, especially after wearing a mask. I mean, it's a little rubbed off here, of course, where the mask was, but not too much. My chin, yeah, it's a little messed up, but like, not bad. Alright guys, so I am done with the rest of my makeup. I did not use setting powder or setting spray. I just added the bronzer, the blush, the highlight, but I did not set the foundation with anything else. And the blush and the bronzer and the highlight laid on beautifully. Like, there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. It wasn't getting blotchy or patchy or anything like that. And so far, I do like the finish. Let me get a little closer so you can see what my face looks like. And I will be updating you every couple hours or so, hopefully, if I remember. But I will be updating you guys throughout the day to show you what it looks like as the day goes on. Okay, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, I'm so sorry. I forgot to tell you guys what time the makeup started. It's 3:30 and I finished it like 5 minutes ago, but we're gonna set it as 3:30 is when I finished. And I will check out throughout the day like I said, and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright guys, so it is officially 4:45, so it's about an hour and about 15 minutes in, give or take. And this is what it's looking like right now. Don't mind my lashes. They are hanging on for their sweet life because I guess I did not put them on good enough. But anyway, yeah, this is what it looks like. I'm really not liking the double layer. I like this one thin layer of the foundation. It looks fine. It was pretty good the first day, but today I'm not really much of a fan of the 2 layers, at least for me. It'll probably look good on a lot of other people, and it does have like a full coverage thing going on, but I mean, can you guys tell, like, all the texture is just like even worse with 2 layers for me. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other people that this will probably look good on, but someone with dry skin and texture, it's not a good look. But other than that, like, it's not really breaking down except for like right here. I'm sorry to get you guys too close, but that's what I see. What else do I see? My blush and my bronzer still on. But then again, it's only been an hour, so we'll check back later. Alright guys, so it is currently 7:02, which makes this check-in about 3.5 hours in. And let's see, I mean, inside it looks really good, at least in this light. It looks pretty good. My poor eyelash is barely hanging on, but she ain't coming off until I'm done with this review. So, so far I did laundry, dishes, watched some TV with my husband, ate some pizza, and played with my dogs a little bit. And it's not too much of a busy day, but this is like a normal wear test. Is like not like the first day. This is gonna be more chill. But anyway, yeah, it doesn't look too bad. My head is a little shiny, my cheeks are a little shiny, but it's also the highlight. But so far it's not too bad. I mean, for how I didn't like how it looked in the beginning, it's not too bad. I still prefer 1 layer. as opposed to 2, but not too bad. I'm gonna do one more check-in, and it's gonna be my final check-in, and that's gonna be in a couple hours. So I'll see you then. Alright guys, it is the end of the day for me, and yes, I put my hair up. It is way too hot today. I was sweating all damn day. It was just, I hate the heat. I do not do well when it's really hot outside. Today it was 109, so yeah, I was so irritated today, but anyway, so it is currently 9:35, and this is what it looks like. And I noticed on the, I think it was 3-hour mark or something like that, my nose has a crease. Can you guys spot that? It's right there. I have a little bit of missing foundation there, some right here, but that's mostly because I was like wiping sweat off of me, and I kept touching my face. I mean, I only forgot one time that I had makeup on. The other times I was like careful, but yeah, like right here I was scratching the crease. That happened without me even knowing. The foundation is rubbed off right there, but that's normal for me because I blow my nose all the time because I have allergies. And my blush and my highlight and a little bit of my bronzer is still kind of there. This side, yeah, pretty much the same. It looks pretty. Look, my chin, or not my chin, but above my chin right here, it's, I mean, that usually happens with any foundation, so it's nothing too serious. It's a little bit settling in my smile lines, but that's normal too, in my opinion, because that happens to me a lot with any foundation I've ever tried. I mean, I don't see much of it. Over here is a little built up right here. I don't know why. That never really happens, but right here I feel like a little bit built up. Yeah, right here too. I don't know if you guys can tell, but overall it's not too bad, but I do prefer the first day that I wore this, because I used, well, today I used primer too, but I used a setting powder and setting spray. And I didn't do like a big amount of it. It's because it does feel tacky after like maybe an hour or so. The tackiness kind of goes away. But I prefer dusting a little bit of setting powder on, because the last time it didn't do the creasing or like the fading away or whatever. But it still doesn't look too bad. This would make it about 6 hours later, so I've worn it for 6 hours straight. I mean, if we're gonna rate it between 1 through 10, I want to say this is an 8. For today, it's gonna be an 8, but for the first day, I want to give it a 9, because I really liked how my makeup looked that day and how it lasted throughout the day. And that's even with wearing a mask too. So I actually do recommend this foundation. I might need to get a different color. This one's just a tad bit peachy on me. I'm more of a neutral girl, but like that one's leaning a little bit peachy to me. So I might dabble around with the other colors. But I would definitely recommend this, especially if you have dry skin like I do. It does not make you look dry at all, especially after the hour mark. Once it settles in your skin, it looks so good. I love it. I love how it looks. But that's definitely with one layer too. If you want to build it up for a fuller coverage, I mean, I want to try to see if I set it with that second layer, if it'll look good. But I already didn't like the way it looked at first, at least not initially, without setting it. But I'm willing to try it again. But if I'm being honest with you, I'm probably just going to use this as a one layer foundation because I like the natural look that it gives and the way it wore. That's just going to be my preference. Either way, I do recommend this. I'm definitely going to wear it more often and test it out even more. And who knows, maybe it'll make it to my favorites at the end of the year. We're just going to have to see. Alright guys, that's all for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. Let me know if you've tried it or if you're interested after watching this review. And don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.